What's going on, everybody? Nah, I'm just playing. I'm not doing all that. Hey guys, I'm Hoop, and if you know me, then you know I love fighting games. But if you don't know me, or you've only started seeing my content recently, you wouldn't really know that I love fighting games. I mean, I have them on my rotation, but I haven't played a fighting game for a few months now. And if you look at my content, you'll see that there's like no fighting game content at all. So why is that? Why have I seemingly stopped playing fighting games? Well, the answer lies within EVO 2024, the first EVO I attended. Other than Kumite 2024, I never attended an in-person tourney, only online tourneys. And in some of these online tourneys for Street Fighter, I did pretty well actually. I won in a Street to Chuck tourney and placed pretty high in one of my Dual Academy runs. So I thought with these results against all these pretty good players, I thought, if I attended EVO, I think I'd be able to at least get out of pools. Then EVO comes, and I play. And I go neutral. I know what some of you are saying. Going neutral isn't that bad, or at least I didn't go negative, right? But I know I could have done way better, and I definitely could have made it out of pools. Even though I still had some love for fighting games, over time, I played them less and less after EVO. But now, I feel the fire for fighting games coming back. Recently, I've been playing a few fighting games casually, and the more and more I get on these games, the more and more I want to compete. So now here I am, making this video, almost like a promise to myself to keep me motivated to compete. Now on to the bigger point of this video. How do I plan to make this promise to myself to keep competing? Well, it's simple, by attending CEO next year. First of all, why would I attend CEO out of any of the tournaments that are available? Well, it was a combination of things. One, CEO takes place in Orlando, which has a lot of things me and my friends would like to do. Universal, SeaWorld, all those type of stuff. And two, the registration for CEO and traveling to Florida is much cheaper than going to an event like EVO in Vegas. Does this mean I won't go to EVO next year? I can't really say for sure, but I know I'll have my focus on CEO. So if I plan to start grinding fighting games again and compete at CEO, what games am I planning to compete in? Normally someone would only have one fighting game that they grind in, but I've done that too much and I get pretty bored really quickly. So instead, I'm going to be grinding 5 fighting games at once. Some I'll take more seriously than others, but I'll be competing for all of them at CEO. And in the spirit of fighting games, I'll reveal each one and explain why I chose that game and who I'll be playing. With the first one not really being much of a shocker to anybody, even if you don't even know me. This is pretty obvious. I mean, the biggest fighting game out right now, why wouldn't I try it again? I have a lot of issues with this game, throw loops, drive rush, a whole bunch of stuff. But there's something so satisfying about Street Fighter that whenever I get on or I see it, it just brings me back in. Like, I don't know what they put in this game, but once it's got you, because I recently started playing it just a little bit and I already feel the urge to keep playing it. Once I start grinding, I'll most likely pick up Akuma again, just because he's just so damn cool. Like, when I look at the Street Fighter roster, I think to myself, yeah, I mean, they're pretty cool, but none of them are as cool as Akuma. Like, it's so free. Although Sagat is coming out soon, or he might be out by the time this video is finished, but I don't think that's going to change anything, and I'll most likely just stick to Akuma. When I stopped playing Street Fighter, I think I was around 17 to 1800 MR, so when I come back to Street Fighter, I would want to at least be around there before I start participating in online tourneys again. Then, depending on how well I do in some of these tournaments, I'll know whether or not I'm ready for CEO. Alright, that's all I have to say for Street Fighter. Now we can move on to the next game. And this next one might also be pretty obvious too, but the next game I'll be grinding for CEO is... Okay, now wait. Before anything, I need to be honest. I'm not really going to be playing Tekken 8. I'm playing Clive Rossview, the first Shield of Rosario, the dominant of E3. Look, don't get me wrong. Tekken is cool and all, but the need to play Clive in a fighting game is what is pulling me to Tekken so much more than anything. I played Clive for a little bit when he came out, and I remember having so much fun. I think I made it to Fujin or Raijin, or one of the blue ranks, but I would definitely want to go higher when I start grinding again. Unlike Street Fighter, I didn't really get far into the competitive scene in Tekken because I didn't join any online tourneys, I just played ranked. But once I feel comfortable playing in blue rank again, then I'll start competing in online tourneys. I know blue rank isn't like anything crazy, so for me to feel prepared for CEO, I think I would want to get to at least Tekken King, but I'd rather get to Tekken God. Obviously, God and Destruction would be perfect, but we'll see. When I was playing Clive, I mainly just learned Clive stuff. I didn't really learn the like fundamentals of Tekken or anything like that. So when I get back to it, I have so much to learn just about Tekken. I've also heard that Tekken is not in a good spot right now because of a lot of changes to the game, but I don't really know what the problem is. So if you want to leave a comment recapping what's going on, I would greatly appreciate it because I have no idea what's happening. All I know is that I want to play Clive, and that's it. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to play Clive again. Anyways, let's see if you can guess what the next game is going to be. This is a game I did not think I would be playing anytime soon, but recently, similar to Street Fighter, I've been playing Strive more casually, and it's a lot more fun than I remember. And I think I know the reason why I find it more fun now. Back in Season 1, I played Happy Chaos, and I played Giovanna. And while I do think they have really cool character designs, I don't think their playstyles are for me when it comes to Guilty Gear. Then, maybe after a year or two, Abba comes out. And I don't know what it is about this character, but she immediately pulled me in. Keep in mind, this is my first time playing this type of archetype, so it felt like such a breath of fresh air when I started messing around with Abba in training mode. Unfortunately, a lot of games don't have these type of characters, so Guilty Gear is kind of my only solace in finding this type of character. And I know, Abba is not an amazing character to solo main because she has some really bad matchup against some of the characters. So that's why I'll also be playing the Neo's DLC character, Unica. The reason why I chose Unica was because I heard a bunch of people saying she's a simple character and there isn't too much depth to her, which I think is perfect to have as a secondary to Abba. I know I've said this about a lot of characters, but I genuinely think she just looks really cool, especially her whole sword design and everything. And from the little bit of her that I've played, she also seems pretty fun to play. So those are the two I'm going to be playing, Abba and Unica. Mostly Abba though, because I really like Abba, like I said. However, I will be waiting for Guilty Gear's new rank system to come out, which it could be out already, but if it isn't, just know that's why I'm not playing it currently. But now we've officially crossed into unknown territory. I've passed Street Fighter, I've passed Tekken, and I've passed Guilty Gear. We're past the biggest 3 fighting games out right now. So what could the next game possibly be?
Grand Blue Fantasy Versus Rising.
Wow, that entire screen is really boring. Alright, if I'm being honest, I don't really know much about Grand Blue. Hell, I forgot that this game was still getting DLC today. And normally, I wouldn't say Grand Blue is a game for me, but every time I look at the roster of 30 plus characters, I'm like, oh my god. You got Grimnir, Siegfried, Lucilius, Lancelot, and so many more. But out of all these characters, the one that looked the coolest to me, design-wise, is Versusia. Don't get me wrong, I love edgy characters, like Lucilius looks crazy. But if you show me a unique-ass character design that's also cool, I'm picking that any day. And Versusia is just that. I also don't really play any big characters in any fighting games, so Versusia literally sits perfectly in that spot to fill out all of my variety. I used to play a little bit of Grand Blue a few months ago, and I think I made it to around S+, maybe S++, but I'm not entirely sure. It's been a while. But to prepare for CEO, I would want to get to Master and maybe even try out some of the online tourneys, because I know TNS runs a Grand Blue bracket. And with that, we have finally arrived at the last game. If you know me, you know this next game is one that at one point I flat out hated. But after picking it back up and playing with some friends, I've found a little bit of joy in it. Seeing that it was in the lineup for CEO just sealed the deal for me. So here's the final game I'll be playing. Alright, where do I even begin with this game? Smash is a game that I used to play religiously, but at some point, there was something that changed where the game got really annoying to play. I'm not sure if it was the people or there were just more enjoyable games to play at the time, but I ended up dropping it and just never looked back. Now that I am picking it up again, I can't say for sure whether or not I'll take it as seriously as Street Fighter or even Grand Blue, but I'll definitely sign up for it at CEO just for the hell of it. It's there and it's a game I've been playing competitively, mainly among my friends, so why not give it a try? Now, as for my character, I used to play Terry and Link, but I'm done with all that. I'm playing Sephiroth. To me, Sephiroth has everything I want in a Smash character. He's unorthodox without being a weird and annoying character to play, like, I don't know, Game & Watch or whatever. And I mean, it's Sephiroth, like how could you not want to play him? If I was taking the game more seriously, maybe I would consider someone who's like better and more well-rounded, but nah. I'm good off that. I'm playing Sephiroth. As for my goals for Smash, I'm taking the game like semi-seriously, so I don't really have any real goals for Smash. I'm just kind of picking it up again. Whatever path brings me the most joy, then that's the one I'll follow. There we have it. All the fighting games I want to grind in and compete for at CEO 2026. Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, Guilty Gear Strive, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, and Smash Ultimate. There were a few other games that I thought of but didn't include in my lineup for a number of reasons. These being Fatal Fury, Marvel Tokon, and 2XKO. Fatal Fury was actually one of the games I was most excited for this year, but from what I've seen in some tournaments, it doesn't seem like there's much variety in the characters being used. And for me, that's a sign it wouldn't be fun to grind in, which is really disappointing because I was really excited for this game. If there is a patch that fixes these issues, then I would definitely give Fatal Fury another try. As for Marvel Tokon and 2XKO, I just don't know enough about how those games are going to look like when they release. They look very interesting, but I didn't want to include them in my lineup because I can't guarantee that I would want to grind them when they come out. Any other games that you can think of that I haven't mentioned because I'm just not really that interested in them, or they're just a little too similar to some of the other games in my lineup. Overall, like I said, this video is largely a promise to myself to start grinding fighting games again and start competing again. If you're watching this and you think you have any amount of input that could help me in any of these fighting games mentioned, you can reach out to me in a whole bunch of places. Discord, Twitter, Blue Sky, whatever it is, it'll be in the description. You can even go in the comments and reach out that way. Hopefully you all can see me in some tourneys. Maybe not soon, but once I feel like I've played enough rank to start playing in brackets. And finally, if you've made it to the end of this video, I greatly appreciate it. And if you're genuinely interested in my journey, then subscribe and help me get back to loving fighting games. I will start posting my ranked sessions for my Twitch streams, and if you want to watch those ranked sessions, you can check out my Twitch. I try to go live every Friday, so you can catch me then. I can't guarantee it'll only be fighting games, but after this video, I'll definitely be playing fighting games way more on stream. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all at CEO 2026.